So before I start the video, I have to tell you guys, please be on the lookout for Forensic and Anjam Patara as they are very soon going to be on online platforms, both films for which I have heard nothing but praise. After creating the video about the movies from several states and the fact that everyone is in self-isolation, I ventured into exploring more films across the country that can entertain you, really make you appreciate the talent we possess in the country and possibly even make you skeptical of the rare gems we see in Hindi cinema compared to the lesser known regional movies. Getting right into the movies that should be on your watch list now. Here is Tried and Refused Productions with 8 craziest non-Hindi Indian movies that will blow your mind away. Hit. The Telugu film starring Vishwak Sen in the lead role focuses on Vikram, who is a police officer with the crime investigation department and works in the homicide intervention team, hence Hit. An individual extremely capable in his portfolio and who suffers from PTSD due to a traumatic event in his past. Rather than dealing with his mental state, he thinks it's best to stay active in several cases. How the kidnapping of a girl leads to the case eventually snowballing to the point where Vikram has a personal motive to solve the case is the premise of Hit. I have to say, more than the premise of the movie that really kicks in from the second half, the engagement of the story is through the performance of Vishwak Sen. His mental degradation, obsession with his profession, lack of empathy for anyone that acts as a hurdle, and sense of absolute lack of fear really steers the story forward. The film really establishes the world of Hit, so keep in mind it's a slow burn, sometimes a necessity for thrillers, but Vishwak Sen very successfully does most of the heavy lifting, very convincingly portraying the disturbed yet determined officer. I kept on guessing the eventual outcome till the final revelation. Let me know whether you experienced the same. Can we set it in producers' minds that audiences love thrillers? U-turn. Okay, listen, I understand that the first thing people will say is that I should have mentioned Lucia before U-turn, especially because both are created by Pawan Kumar, but Lucia is only available on MX Player without subtitles. If you want to see the film with subtitles, you have to download the app on your Android phone and it's definitely a hassle. For convenience and so that you guys get a picture of why Pawan Kumar is considered to be one of the best writers in Kannada cinema, especially in the horror thriller genre, is the 2016 film U-Turn. This movie has been remade in several languages, but I would recommend you watch the Kannada version, which is the first one. The film focuses on an intern, a journalist who takes up the project of writing on the happenings near a Bangalore flyover. For shortcuts, several citizens would move cinder blocks for a convenient U-turn, and this would cause multiple accidents. The mysterious happenings that take place as the case is explored more is the premise of U-Turn, a movie that encapsulates elements beyond the mortal realm which can easily make viewers disassociate from the premise, but this film really builds up the anticipation amongst the viewers. I was blown away by how complex yet focused the screenplay was designed. Especially in its latter half, the story unravels in such a bizarre but effective manner that you can only commend the brilliant storytelling in the film. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Helen. I really was blown away by Annaben after Kumbalangi Nights, an extremely natural and gifted performer that has a bright future ahead in movies. When I saw Helen on Amazon Prime, it only increased my respect for the artist tenfold. The film focuses on a nursing graduate, Helen, who attends IELTS coaching classes with the hope of getting a job abroad. How she coincidentally gets locked in an industrial freezer of her part-time job and a concerned father, boyfriend, and search team find Helen is the premise of the movie. More than it just being a survival story, the movie encapsulates several facets of human nature. From conservatism when it comes to religion, a basic sense of humanity as people are helpless, and most importantly, truly how resilient the human spirit is. What stood out for me in this film beyond Annaben's exceptional performance was the chemistry between Lal and Annaben as the father-daughter duo. The concern and pure love in his eyes, and Helen, deep down knowing inside she can convince him of the world, is truly beautiful. A story with exceptional performances that will really captivate you. Baishesh Robon. An extremely compelling and thought-provoking film from West Bengal that left me perplexed was the 2011 film Baishesh Robon, directed by Srijit Mukherjee. The film focuses on several murders that take place in Kolkata, with notes left at the scene of the crime that consists of written verse of Bengali poets. How these act like clues for the police to come to the bottom of the case of the gruesome murders is the premise of Baishesh Robon. What's fascinating is that I have literally not revealed anything about how the plot develops, as that's precisely what will transfix you. There is a beautiful integration of Bengali poetry that makes intent and action of the murderer clear. A riddle of sorts presented at each significant moment. A contemporary riddler of sorts, but set in West Bengal. Even though the film is pitched at a rather in-your-face note, extremely loud and apparent in most sequences, its writing and seamless integration of Bengali literature will excite you, knowing how the case unravels. Rangi Taranga. Okay, before I start raving about this film, I have to prepare you for something. Most Kannada films still possess a feature that is more or less absent in other languages of cinema, and that's comedic actors. Asrani and Johnny Lever in most films would be presented just for comedic relief, even if the movie would be a thriller or drama. Their scenes would be independent from the plot and just meant for laughs. Kannada cinema still possesses these elements. Rangi Taranga is a film that presents layers over layers in its script, encapsulating mysticism and folklore in a remote village. If you can look past the surroundings, which include the unnecessary comedic scenes, the loud pitch, and awkward dubbing, the main plot is extremely compelling. The best part of the film is its ability of its writing to make you believe a possible conclusion and shatter those theories almost immediately. A visit to an ancestral village, the haunting history of its recurring sightings, and the quest to find a missed loved one, getting so layered in its story that you genuinely get sucked in and builds curiosity on who are these characters and, most importantly, who should you believe. You genuinely start to believe that the movie is disjointed, but to your surprise, it is meticulously planned and designed. A complex script despite its easily avoidable features that is definitely a must watch for you guys. Killa. Now that I have basically mentioned everything intense, dark or dramatic, I really want to tell you guys about a film that made me reminisce about the times when life was simpler and made me uncontrollably weep, all for its purity and heart. Killa is directed by reputed cinematographer Avinash Arun, who brought us visual gems in the form of Madari and Karwa. His Marathi directorial venture is a prime example of how a simple story can have such a deep impact on you when told through the visual eyes of a cinematographer. A coming-of-age story of an 11-year-old Sohas, played by Archit Diodar, who shifts to a small village from Pune with his mother, how he copes with the recent death of his father, a new school, new friends, an entirely different lifestyle side by side as a single mother struggles both personally and professionally. Killa will deeply hit you. Its simplicity is endearing. Its child actors are such naturals in front of camera, and their camaraderie and chemistry is one of its kind. It blew my mind away on how good they were in front of camera, as if naturally interacting with one another, and the camera just happened to capture it. The combination of a beautiful score, breathtaking visuals, and the soul of the film, being the human connection, will honestly leave a huge smile on your face. And maybe for a sucker like me, teary-eyed as well. Now, the two movies I'm most excited to share with you guys. Visarane, a movie that is not meant for the faint-hearted, was our Oscar submission, and deservedly so was the Vetri Maran directed film Visarane. The movie focuses on 4 migrant workers from Tamil Nadu who get mercilessly tortured in order to get a confession for a crime they have no idea about. It sheds light on the monumental issues faced by migrant workers only having the goal of changing their financial fate in a new city, and how society is structured between people who control each move and simple-minded folk who are mere pawns in the game. The film is extremely tough to watch, exceptionally real, and possesses some of the most powerful performances by the ensemble cast, especially the 2 lead actors Dinesh Ravi and Adu Kalam. The film will open your eyes on the harsh reality of the social dynamics in the country, all designed on the pretext of prejudice, race, class, and monetary influence. The film is a sad reminder of how humans are equal only on the surface level, and the more we dig deep on our intricate societies, the have-nots and less privileged have always suffered, in many ways due to the callousness of the rich and influential. This one will be unforgettable. Imayu. Lijo Jose Pellisseri has become one of my favorites after Jallikattu. Little did I know after watching Imayu, he would appear in my top 5 directors in India. This man has the simplest concepts on paper, but his visual presentation of those events and how much they say about society today is unparalleled. I cannot find even a suitable example in Indian cinema who possesses the same ability of managing so many elements in one frame, coming across as a perfectly coordinated choreography. Imayu focuses on an estranged and eccentric father who wants a grand affair on the day of his funeral. When the occasion does arise, the several elements that come into play, more or less involving the entire village, is the premise of Imayu. It is only Lijo that can make a span of 2 hours fly like a breeze, while you still ironically hyperventilate in regards to how the plot will develop. Chemban Vinod, Vinayakan and Dileesh Pothan are exceptional. The chilling visuals which are enhanced through his iconic long-running shots with no cuts, and the screenplay that seamlessly does stage entry and exits like a play, is honestly filmmaking at its finest. You won't be disappointed. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movies and whether you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.